Hi guys, so I've been wanting to do this video for ages actually. I feel bad because I bought this stuff off of Amazon like a couple of years ago, and I remember the seller was like, oh, could you leave a review? And I was like, don't worry, I will. I just need to film my video and then I'll like share it to it. And honestly, I feel like that was at least a year ago that I said that, and I feel terrible. But anyway, this is my video review for the Vahdam, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, Teas. So the bags were bigger than I expected, but there's still not a lot in there when you think about it. Though some are way more full than others, I noticed. So maybe it was just the, for example, sweet Himalayan tea that wasn't as full as the others. I feel that there is a little bit of inconsistency between fullness between each bag. However, I found myself able to have between 8 to 10 brews with the smallest sachet, and way more with the rest that was a little bit more filled, as I could reuse the leaves I already used once more in good time and still have a somewhat flavoursome tea, which is what I do. I usually get about 2 teas out of like just a little bit of leaves. They really improved my alertness, because once I stopped having it regularly for a few days, I was back to being really tired and sluggish, especially of a morning, and actually missed a few days at uni. See how long this review was, to sleep a little bit longer. I know that sounds terrible, but yeah, I was just fatigued, it felt like, honestly. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or what, but I honestly did feel more energized as an overall basis whilst drinking these teas. So now to go into mini reviews of each flavour. So the first one I'll talk about is the sweet Himalayan. So this is really sweet for something so natural. I actually love the flavours in this one. It's a fantastic blend of herbal and sweet, so you couldn't possibly feel guilty with this as a sweet fix. For me, I do have a sweet tooth, so added sugar is kind of the thing that I do, or actually, to be fair, I do try and steer away from adding sugar to these teas, because that kind of goes against the point, but still. So then we've got the original chai spiced black tea. So I first tried this with the milk and followed the instructions to make a really nice drink. I tried it also without all the faff of the pots and pans, but still with milk and sugar in my little cup, and it's not as flavoursome as the pan method when you boil it down properly like a chai tea. So I do prefer it that way. It's really nice.
Hi guys, so I'm not sure when I'm next going to vlog, but I thought I'd film myself trying to make a traditional chai tea or latte with milk. So I picked up a sample selection for about £12 on Amazon of these Vahdam Teas. You get 10 in there, I believe. They're all different. I'm hoping to do a review, but this little portion of the video may be attached to a vlog, or it may be attached to the review. I don't know yet. But anyway, I've got the original chai spiced black tea masala chai here. It's nice because it tells you when it was picked instead of like a off by date sort of thing. And you get quite a bit in this one. So here, it's got a little preparation guide for each kind of tea. So that's the chai without milk, but I'm going to be trying to make it with milk today. So I've just boiled the kettle. So it says mix 1 portion of milk with 2 portions of water and set it to boil in a saucepan. I don't know what portions mean. Like, what do they mean by it? So what I'm going to do is I'll just like pour a bit in how I would think would fit into a cup, I guess. So yeah, I just boiled the kettle. Oh, let me turn the switch off, and I'll just eyeball it, I guess. That seems about, I don't know, 2 parts. And then I have my soy milk here. I don't think that will make a difference, but that's the kind of milk that I drink. So what does it say? Mix 1 portion of milk to 2 portions of water and set to boil in the pan. I'm going to say that's about 1 portion. So I'm just going to switch it on at the mains. And I have the stove on the 4 mark. And yeah, I guess I'll let that boil, and then I'll come back and do the next section. So I've decided to put the gas mark up to 5, but I don't trust the smell. Like, honestly, I am not a cook. I don't let things boil. I kind of just, oh, it's boiling. Okay, yep, I'll leave it on gas mark 5. You can hear the sizzling noise, but the smell would like put you off. But as I say, I'm more of like an in the oven kind of person, or microwave. I don't really use the top part of the cooker that much. I'm letting all my secrets out now. Yeah, it's boiling up. So far it's taken about 3 minutes. So yeah, again, I'll come back when it's time to do the next step. I've also got a little beaker here because I think it'll be easy to pour everything into this and then that into a cup with like a strainer to get the things out. Otherwise it's just going to be messy pouring it directly from this into... Yeah, I know what I'm saying. So this is how it's looking now. I have been giving it a little stir every now and then. I hope that doesn't get any higher, but I'm now just going to open the packet and put 1 teaspoon in, I think. And then I'll also put in, I'll let it boil for another couple of minutes. Oh gosh, go down, down. I'll take that off actually, because I don't like the looks of that getting so high. That frightened me. I've just put the gas mark back down to 4. I hope I haven't disturbed it too much because it's gone way down, but I didn't want it to boil over. So I've got that much on my spoon. I'm just going to let that do it. Oh my god, that smells absolutely amazing. It smells all vanilla-y. Oh wow. That smells so good. So I am stirring it just because I don't want it to stick to the pan and that. But again, I'm just letting it boil up. I'm probably going to keep it on the gas mark 4 now. Oh my god, that smells absolutely awesome. I hope I haven't made too much. But I guess it could be a cold chai latte later on maybe if I put it in the fridge. I don't know. So after this, yes, I shall wait 2 to 3 minutes as it says, and then I'll put a teaspoon of sugar in. This one says, you know, do how many sugars you prefer, but I usually just have 1 sugar in my teas and stuff these days. So then it says strain the leaves out, so I shall be back with those sections soon. So in goes the sugar. It smells so good. It's all like cinnamony and like vanilla-y and that. Oh, I love it. I hope it tastes good. And then now it says to strain the leaves out already. So that's only taken about 10 minutes. So I'm going to take it off the stove, turn everything off, and then go ahead and strain the leaves out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to film this part because it might be a bit tricky and I've only got 2 hands. Not that you can see very well, and this may be a catastrophe, but in goes the mixture into this beaker. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot water now into that saucepan that I use, just so it cleans away the edges. Makes it easy to wash later. And now I'm going to get a cup. Which cup shall I have? One of my big cups, just in case. This big ass one. Hopefully it doesn't go all over the place. If I put that there, because the other strainer's like tiny. Well, no, let's use the other strainer because then that's going to be better precision. Don't know what I think I'm playing at, trying to be all like magic-y. Right, this is the best angle I can get, guys, so bear with. Oh, most of the stuff didn't even come out. It kind of strained itself. I'll show you what I mean. Like, the majority of the gunk stayed in the beaker. Only a little bit came out here. So, oh, okay, so it makes about that much. I could have eyeballed it and made it a bit bigger, but I think that would have been a good amount for one of my regular sized cups. So, I hope it tastes good. Smells certainly good. Oh wow, it smells really awesome. So I'll come back and do a little bit of a taste test in a little bit. I guess I could always put more water on this, but then I think that would dilute the mixture. So yeah, I'll come back in a second. So do excuse my appearance at the present moment. I hope I haven't got food in my teeth. Bearable. It is time to taste the chai latte. Or is it just still a chai tea? I'm not too sure. I feel like you need to have other stuff in it for it to be a latte. Oh no, let's taste it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I think an extra teaspoon of the chai, or maybe an extra teaspoon of the sugar, would have uplifted it into what could be a latte taste, like a really, really sweet drink. But it's still really nice. You can definitely taste that it's watered down, but you can taste the milk as well. It's a nice mixture. I just think maybe it needs to be sweeter. But I like it. I'm quite impressed with myself, even though all I did was follow instructions. But most of it was like eyeballing, so I'm glad that I made a somewhat success. So Yay, it's an A+ from me.
Then there's the Earl Grey citrus black tea. Definitely tastes like citrus in there, but it's not enough to make it flavoursome without sugar. It's not my favourite Earl Grey tea, but it has a refreshing taste, though again much preferred with sugar, to be fair. Next up is the Blue Mountain Nilgiri white tea. Sorry if I butchered that name. So it's really pretty actually, and clear as you'd expect, though it does get quite darker. I wouldn't mind bathing in it. Random, I know, but it does look one of those like things that you could imagine having like a Lush bath in or something. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this one like separately. It's not my favourite in terms of flavour, and it just honestly tastes a little bit like dirty dishwater, which is, you know, terrible. But it just tastes like it's been sitting there. There's no sweetness or rich flavour, so this is definitely one of those things that tastes like, you know, when things taste bad and you drink it because you know it's good for you, but it tastes bad. Yeah, it's one of those sort of things, so definitely pile on the sugar with that one if I want something to be tantalising for my taste buds. Then I've got the Himalayan breakfast black tea. This one is so delicious. As you'd imagine, it has that classic tea flavour. With milk doesn't really improve the taste all that much. I prefer it just straight up. Then there's the Himalayan organic green tea. At this point I hadn't been drinking my teas as regularly for about a month when I like first initially was writing out my reviews, and I could really tell a difference in my body because I was being, as I mentioned at the beginning, I was back to being more lethargic and groggy again. But this tea is very strong and acidic in taste, and it's not one I enjoy drinking without sugar. It's just a bit too bitter for me, but it's one of those teas where as I've mentioned literally just a second ago, it tastes bad, so it must be doing good, which is a weird logic, but sometimes true. After that, I've got the High Mountain I'm so sorry with these names, I cannot pronounce them very well. Darjeeling oolong tea. This one is super tasty actually, and it's another one that reminds me a bit of traditional tea, like sort of Earl Grey in taste, that you'd have with milk. However, the closer you get to the leaves, the more leafy it tastes, which I don't like. So yeah, and then there's the Daily Darling Second Flush Black Tea. So I was intimidated to try these ones because I was scared about my bowels like reacting funny. I do have IBS, so I worry sometimes about putting certain things in my body, especially if it's to do with like, well, in my mind I think of pooing when I think of Second Flush black tea. But yeah, it tastes decent. It's not the most flavoursome, but it also is not the most offensive in taste, so I'm quite content with that compromise, to be honest. Then there's the Assam Exotic Second Flush Black Tea. This one's a really strong, earthy, fruity flavour. One of those teas that you can imagine will help you when you're ill, and that it did. I drank some during a chest infection when I was getting a bit better, and it really helped my bowels. Without going into it too much, I know chest infection and bowels are a completely different thing, but when I've got one thing wrong with me, like everything sort of goes out of sync. But yeah, it doesn't sound related, as I mentioned, but it felt like everything was shutting down. Like most others, again, I prefer this one with sugar. And then lastly, we have the Cardamom Chai Masala Chai Spiced Black Tea. I prepare this in the same way as I prefer the other chai tea, with like the pans and the boiling the milk and all that sort of stuff. But I need to practice the ratio better for this one, as it tends to taste too watery and not strong enough in flavour. So yeah, that's it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed. For something that I've been putting off, not even putting off, but something that I've taken ages to get around to filming, it's actually turned into a very quick video. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if you've tried these teas and if you're interested in trying them perhaps, and if you have any other sort of teas like this, like more herbally natural flavourings, do let me know, because every now and then I go back to just drinking a load of healthier, well, what I think to be healthier teas, and I would like recommendations. Thank you again for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.